direction, now you're a puppet to me. Now anything you say, I'm going to just get in between you. I think that's a great way that the devil could use to interfere. Then I go into the gospel and it says, cursed are the ones who looked for signs. And I'm like, this is amazing. This is literally pointing out in the direction that I'm thinking. And I keep reading, and he says, instead of asking for signs, you should ask for signs that were already given to you, but you're basically too dumb to even see. You should reveal the ones that I've already given to you. So now I've changed my prayers. Of like, instead of me going like, God, I want this, I'm like, God, there's things going on in my life that I haven't even appreciated yet, or there's signs that you've already been showing me that I haven't seen yet. Have me be wise enough to see those. How do I, one, am I wrong about the signs thing? And then two, if I am right about it, how do I gently push my fellow Christian man to stop asking the universe or the surroundings for signs?
It's a great question. You go first, I'll go second.
Well, so when Scripture says that not even Jesus knows the day or hour.
How is that possible?
Exactly.
No, but how is that possible? If he's God and he's all-knowing.
Right, so he's man and God.
He limits himself.
Exactly. So I think that's the limitation where he's just man. Because obviously he had to eat while he was here on earth. He had to do many humanly things. He wasn't just doing magic tricks left and right. And so if Jesus didn't even know the day or hour, obviously we're not going to know the day or hour. So when I see the billboards all over the place that are saying he's returning at this exact date, you think, well, they've been wrong a million times, for one. And two, again, if Jesus doesn't know, we don't know. And so I think that's fascinating that you went to cursed is the man who looks for signs.
Has to be.
Exactly, because Revelation does talk about look for signs, obviously, as well. And my whole thing is, look, there's a certain white horse that's coming to judge. And so I'm more concerned about what does judgment look like? And am I a real believer or not? It's terrifying for me. Rather than, a liberal pastor who said to me not long ago, the book of Revelation is all about love. It's just all about love and good feelings. And literally the other guy who was on the podium with me, we started laughing. We literally started laughing. And
Revelation is the scariest part of the Bible.
Right, exactly. But I think, around here, I don't know about in California, what are the ones for you guys? But we get all the time, 9/11 was judgment. And clearly that's a clear sign. Or the pandemic.
You think like God, like...
Exactly. It's a judgment and it's a sign that God certainly is coming back very soon. So you get that question a lot. Remind me, how do you answer that question again? Was 9/11 God's judgment?
I do not know.
No. Your favorite.
George, you brought up...
We could open some conspiracy stuff right now if you guys want.
But you brought up the classic illustration there, Gideon. That is one of the most misinterpreted passages in the Bible for me. Oh, Cliff, I'm just going to put out a fleece. Meaning by that, I'm going to look for a sign. I'm going to test God. And then if the fleece is drenched with water and the ground is dry around it, sign for God. Or if the ground is drenched with water and the fleece is dry, that's a sign. Go back and read that account of Gideon. God told Gideon, get off your butt, get an army together, and kick the Midianites out of Israel. And Gideon's going, blah, 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 blah. Are you really telling me to do this? I think I need a sign. In other words, I think I need a sign for Gideon was not a statement of faith. It was a statement of doubt. I'm not sure that I should really do what you're telling me to do. So I need you to prove it beyond a slightest doubt that this is what you're calling me to do. So here's the fleece. Tomorrow morning, I want the fleece drenched in the dry ground. The next morning, I want the ground dry and the fleece drenched. And so that was a sign of doubt on Gideon's part. That was not a sign of faith. So be careful about the signs.
Because then you're showing God that your heart's not fully in faith and fully in belief.
Bingo.
When I brought this up to you on the phone, you brought up a great response as well. You said the devil tested Jesus.
Yep.
And the first thing he said is, you shall not test God. So
That's
when
right.
we ask for signs, we're testing God. So even Jesus himself didn't ask for signs.
And that's why the statement, God, prove yourself scientifically to me and then I will believe in you, is so dishonest. First point is God's a spiritual being, so there's no scientific proof or disproof for God. And then the second point is, it's incredibly manipulative if a guy looks a woman in the face and says, you say you love me? I don't believe you unless you have sex with me. That's manipulation. No, I need to allow a woman to reveal her love for me as she chooses, not as I demand. Well, if that's true between a woman and me, how much more true it is between God and me. For me to say, God, in order for me to believe, you got to do X, Y, and Z. That's manipulation. That's not me being humble and open to God.
I think a big part too is God allows doubt, and it almost seems like he encourages it at times. You see Job, for example, doubting a bunch, and God allows it. It's not like he starts bashing him over the head, but then at the very end of the book of Job, he's saying, all right, it's time to start trusting me more. And then eventually blesses him. I think that blessing is probably tied to the faith, but he let him doubt. And then for Habakkuk, for example, Habakkuk was so rude to God. God didn't judge him. He allowed him and then said, well, things are actually about to get a lot worse, Habakkuk, but then they will get better. Or for when my uncle's 7-year-old daughter died in a horrific car accident, his favorite psalm was Psalm 88. And it closes with, death is my only friend. Get away from me, God. And Psalm 39 is very, very similar. And it's David just being tremendously sacrilegious. And you think, God should smite this guy. And yet God allows it. Or it's the disciples in the boat. You know, Jesus is asleep. And they're freaking out and saying, wake up, Christ. Well, he doesn't come out and bash them and say, you right now, you need to be believing. Instead, he gently says, where is your faith? And so he says, you have faith. And you're doubting.
He said, what little faith you guys have.
Yeah, exactly. But in the Greek there, he's saying, pull it out. He's not saying you have no faith. So he's not bashing them. He's saying simply pull it out and start believing. So I find it so interesting that God, again, wouldn't say, just have faith and that faith will get you into heaven. Instead, it's, no, I understand your humanness. I understand that you're going to doubt. And every time you sin, you're doubting in some kind of way. But learn to trust me more and have that relationship with me.
Because I'm
No,
sorry.
go.
Because wouldn't it be too easy, right, to say, well, okay, God, show me a sign, show me that you're real,